Before we get into today's dope discussion, I want to make it abundantly clear that I am in no way, shape, or form trying to ridicule anybody, bully anybody, shame anybody, make anybody feel less than, or anything of that sort. However, in this long clip that we are getting ready to break down, there are a lot of teachable moments that I feel like a lot of women can learn from and hopefully be able to extract valuable information and do a self analysis to see where they may be coming up short, and also take huge inventory on why it is that so many men out there are done dating. Y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe. When I tell y'all this video right here was very eye opening yet troubling for me, I said, yeah, we gotta touch base on that. Because unfortunately, there are probably a lot of women out there who are just like her, and they don't understand where they are coming up short. They don't understand why men are not pursuing them or taking things to the next level, or they don't understand why they are stranded and stuck in the streets, for the streets, to the streets, being passed around. And it is because when a man tries to give you the benefit of the doubt and a man tries to give you a chance, y'all absolutely blow it. And again, ladies, this could be a huge reason why men are done with you. Again, likes up for me. This is a lengthy clip, so I hope y'all got time. Get your juice, get your popcorn, and I'll look forward to seeing what I got to say about this. But let's listen to what this lady had to say, all right? It says, I got into a fight with my date, all right? So let's listen to this.
So I just got into a fight with my date and I just left. So, long story short, I met a guy on the app like a week ago. And we've been like talking on the phone a couple days this week. We agreed to meet up today, Friday at 7:30. I didn't hear from him today, the day of the date. We talked last night for like 10 minutes, but I didn't hear from him today. And I'm an anxious attachment girly. So, I need some reassurance today of like, especially for a first date. We've never met in person before. We met online. So I was like, I need to know that we're still going. So I'm trying to get out of my own way. So I text him, even though I didn't want to. I text him and I'm just like, hey, we're still going. Haven't talked to you today. So, I want to make sure we're, still on. And he's just like, oh yeah, it's been a busy day. I can call you right now. And I'm just like, oh no, that's good. Like, I really appreciate it. That was a green flag to me that he, was like, oh no, it's just been busy. I can catch up with you right now. And so that was a green flag for me. But, I ended up getting ready. And I was running a few minutes behind, and I just told him, after I had sent that text, like, I have a 40-minute drive, so I just wanted to make sure. And that's important, so hold on to that. So I get ready. I'm a few minutes late. 7:30 we were supposed to meet up. 7:35 was about my ETA. So I'm communicating the entire time. I want to be the communicator that I want. I want people to communicate with me a certain way, so I communicate with them that way. So I'm communicating with him the whole time. He says he's there. I said, okay, I'm gonna be there I'm pulling up in 5 minutes. I'm about to get off the highway. So then he tells me, oh, we have a 35-minute wait. We can go walk around the mall. Y'all are gonna be pissed off at me probably, but I did what I did.
Now, she's laughing and giggling this part off, but this is very, very telling. So let's try to summarize as we are going, because like I said, this is a longer clip, and I want to make sure that you all are able to understand what's at play and what's going on. So she is getting ready to go out on this date with this young man, and she's trying to communicate with him to meet up. He has told her that, look, it's been a very busy day, but yes, we are still on track to meet up. As a matter of fact, to give you even more assurance that I am on board with this, I will call you right now. She said that it was a green flag. Thank you very much. That gave me extra reassurance and confirmation that this date is going to progress forward. Now, she said that she had to drive 40 minutes to this location. And upon her reaching this location, he tells her, look, it's going to be like a 35-minute wait. So how about we just utilize that time to walk through the mall? Now, if you are genuinely interested in somebody and trying to get to know them, that shouldn't be, in my opinion, a big deal, right? If this is our first time meeting up in person, that is the perfect opportunity for us to get to know each other even better outside of chewing on food and drinking drinks. Like, we're able to walk around, get a feel for one another. That way, when we do sit down at dinner, we'll be a lot more comfortable. At least in my opinion, that is what that would lead to. So I personally don't see a problem with this. And to be very clear with what I'm getting ready to say, I believe that she also did not find a huge issue with that, which is why she is making the disclaimer of, y'all gonna have a problem with this. Because probably now in hindsight, she's realizing that maybe she overreacted by canceling this date, all because he said, look, it's a 35-minute wait. Let's walk around, at the mall, get to know each other. So let's peep the game on that. I really do believe that she is right here in this very moment, realizing that, yeah, I kind of overdid that. I kind of overreacted. It wasn't that big of a deal. And with her knowing that maybe she did blow it and she did mess up this date, or, the possibility of a relationship blossoming into something better, she is already throwing it out there to us that, yeah, y'all not gonna like, what I did, but, I did it. And now, during the duration of this clip, she's going to be, in a nutshell, trying to justify her very rude, impatient, and flat out just bad actions and behaviors. Okay? And again, ladies, if you find yourself doing some of the same antics and having some of the same thought processes as this woman, I really need you to sit down with yourself and figure out what you need to tweak and do differently. Because if you do not, you will be in the streets too. You will be by yourself too. And in my opinion, and that's why I make the disclaimer, in my opinion, a chick like her, she definitely should have been on her best behavior. And she definitely should have not taken that man's kindness as a weakness or taken him for granted and just written it off. Because, ma'am, there are bad chicks. And I'm not trying to call this woman unattractive or anything of that sort. I'm just being honest and I'm being real. Okay. There are way badder chicks than you that are still alone, single, not being asked out on dates. Like, again, ladies, look around. The climate is changed. The climate is different. Men are not going out of their ways to meet you, greet you, date you, nothing. Talk to you, get to know you, ask your name. Like, this is the climate that we are living in. And so for a woman like this to be taking certain things for granted is wild, crazy work. But let's continue because there's more to this story. Get the likes up for me.
I end up just telling him, like, well, at first I was just like, I called him and I'm literally like pulling up into, if you're in the DMV area, I live in Baltimore County. We met up in Arundel Mills. So I'm pulling up and, it's a complicated parking situation. And I'm just like, why was there no reservation made? Oh, I've been here multiple times. I never had to make a reservation. It's Friday. They're busy. It's a restaurant. Like, he's just like super aloof, just like, it's no big deal, whatever. And I'm just like, I drove 40 minutes. It is the evening. I am not interested in walking around the mall, like, while we wait another 40 minutes for our reservation. Like,
again, not trying to be rude or mean, but ladies, a lot of y'all could stand to walk around. All right? No shade. Not trying to be mean, not trying to be rude, but ma'am, you probably needed to walk around a little bit. Burn a few calories. Get some things flowing, Some of y'all could stand to do that. And what harm is it in walking around, talking to somebody, getting to know somebody that you are on a quest to find a true, genuine connection with that could possibly blossom and lead into a long-term committed relationship. This is why y'all are not even getting married. Y'all can't even get to boyfriend and girlfriend status because you're complaining about having to walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. You could have went to a few stores. Who knows? The man, he could have took you shopping a little bit. Something. But no. So many of y'all, unfortunately, are just so impatient, so lazy, so greedy that you don't want to do anything outside of what you came for. Oh no, that's an inconvenience to me. I'm not going to be walking, and I'm not going to be talking, and I'm not going to be. Well, ma'am, once again, this is why the men don't even take the time out of the day to do anything with y'all, because at any little inconvenience, you ready to throw the towel in and complain about something, when that could have been the perfect opportunity for y'all to really connect and bond and build. And again, you can stand to walk, sis. You probably need to go for a little bit of a jog from what I can see. And it's no shade. But let's continue.
And so I'm just like expressing my frustration to him and just saying, like, you know, like, I feel a little silly right now because I just drove a really long way and like you didn't even make a reservation. And so he's just like, well, just park, just get situated. Like, we'll, you know, like, it's not that, basically just saying like it's not that big of a deal. And I'm just like, it kind of is though, because I just drove a really long way and I just like, I feel a little played right now. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me take a beat. I was like, I think I told him straight up, I'm not going to be a good date to you. I was like, I'm not really happy that I drove all this way and that like I have to wait 40 more minutes. And I was like, I'm just going to take that time and go back home.
I think she was very unreasonable. I really do. But I want to ask y'all, put a 2 in the chat if you feel like she was justified in her frustration and she was well within her right to go ahead and go home, considering that there was no reservation made and she had drove 40 minutes. Put a 2 if you feel like she was good for doing that. And then I want y'all to put a 1 in the chat if you feel like she is being extremely rude, impatient, inconsiderate. I'm going to drop my 1 because this was crazy to me. And ladies, when I say things like this that I'm getting ready to say, y'all would say that I am in some way advocating for women to settle and for women to just tolerate and put up with whatever type of treatment. But I got to be real with this. And y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Ladies, especially women like this, to where you were lucky that somebody was taking the time out to do anything with you, right? But I gotta be real, okay? Ladies, we are in such bad times when it comes to men and relationships and dealing with women that you are absolutely, positively lucky if a man is even asking you out on a date, let alone presenting you with an opportunity to get to know him properly, get to know him better. Like, you are even lucky that you're on a date in which you have to wait anyway, because you could very well be by yourself eating a McDouble or a McChicken. You know what I'm saying? Scrolling on down Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, whatever the hell, and just miserable. Because that's the time that we live in now. We live in a time to where men are not even trying to date. So for you to be this impatient, this inconsiderate of this man's time, because this is not just about you. He took time out of his busy day, which he already stated earlier. Yeah, it's been hectic, but yes, we're still on for the date tonight. He took time out of his busy day to get ready to drive up there. And I'm pretty sure he was going to pay for the meal. Like, this guy put in a lot of effort and work to even date you in the first place. So for you to have such a nasty attitude drive all that way, and then say, nah, because you didn't make a reservation, I'm going back home. That's trash. And like I keep saying, a lot of these chicks will be the same ones complaining about how men don't make any effort, men don't take any time out, men don't pursue. Look at what y'all do to these men when they do make an effort, when they do take out the time, when they do try to accommodate. And what's even more lousy is the fact that so many women don't understand, again, this climate that we are living in, to where this may be your last damn date. And I'm pretty sure this woman is going to look back on her actions and look back on what this man was ready and willing to do for her. And she's going to be extremely regretful and remorseful, because she's going to see, dang, I kind of did have a good dude who would at least do this for me, at least attempt to do that for me, and I blew it. A lot of y'all have an abundance mindset to a fault, to where you feel like, oh no, another one's gonna come, another one's gonna come. It don't matter. I can treat him any old kind of way because another one's gonna come. And ladies, and again, not trying to be rude or mean to this young lady here, but that may not happen for a woman like you, especially. Like, from what I have been able to observe, and I'm just being completely transparent with you all, men today are only approaching women if they are absolutely exceptional women. I'm talking about he feels like another one of her won't present themselves to him in a very long time, so let me go ahead and pounce on this. And even when it comes to those type of women that are exceptional, they're still being extremely hesitant with even approaching them. So, with understanding that, why do y'all feel like it's okay for you? Again, not trying to be mean, not trying to shame nobody and bully nobody, nothing like that. But look, we got to be real. What makes you think, as a woman that is average at best, who does need to do a little bit of walking, what makes you think that you're going to have all of these men lined up to date you? What makes you feel like you can fumble a perfectly good date over something so minor, to where all you have to do is wait 35 minutes, walk around a mall? Women love to damn shop. Walk around a mall, talk to somebody that you have an interest in, and bond until you're ready to eat. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Why do y'all feel so entitled when you have, again, some of the baddest chicks who are stranded in the streets because men are that done? Let's continue. It's going to be a long, dope discussion. So, again, get the likes up for me and let me know if I'm off base. Let me know if I'm being mean, if I'm full of ish. Let me know. But, yeah.
So, I know y'all going to probably think I was snobby for that, but I'm sorry. We can blame it on me being hangry or whatever, but I'm just like, I know myself, and like, we're already in the negatives. There's no reason for me to sit here and wait with this man knowing that I'm not going to give him a fair chance. I know myself. I said, let's just reschedule. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm just really frustrated about this. So he ends up, I hadn't even parked at that point. So I turned right back down around and give him the highway. And so he calls me and he's just like, well, I'll come to you. I'll drive 40 minutes to you. And, where can we go in your area? So half of me is like, okay, I appreciate the fact that you're trying to make this even, but also now I got to come up with some plans, and we're still probably going to have to fucking wait. In my, I live in the suburbs, but still, like, so I'm like, I recognize that I'm frustrated in the moment, and I'm just like, let me take a beat for a second. Let me just, like, I'm getting back on the highway. Let me just think for a second and figure out what my next plan is, because I'm fully dressed, makeup on, whatever. And I'm just like, let me take a beat for a second. And so, I'm thinking about just saying, you know what? He's saying that he wants to come all this way. you know, I got a couple spots that I know that we can go to, but like I just need to take a minute to like cool off. So I was going to just be chill about it or whatever. Then he presses the issue, and it's like basically trying to chastise me for being upset. And that's when I was just, I lost it. Because I'm just like, he was basically like, oh, well, if I had made a reservation and the restaurant was busy, what would you have done?
Valid question. Things can happen. Things can pop up. I've had reservations before, and it's still a wait. That happens to where it's like, okay, I understand y'all had reservations, but you know, this party over here is taking a little bit longer to wrap up, but as soon as they're complete, we're going to get everything cleaned up for you all. You'll be able to sit down. Like that happens. What would you have done then? Would you still have been upset with him? Probably so, because she already said she's hangry. And ladies, we have got to do better with our damn appetites. Okay, learn how to intermittent fast a little bit. Drink some water, you know, just chill out a little bit. Everything is about what you need to eat and what you about to eat. And girl, it's crazy. And again, something I picked up on, not trying to be rude, I'm trying to be mean or anything of that sort. However, this is her all glammed up. She said, I look cute. I got my makeup on. I'm dressed up. I got my hair. Look, this is her all glammed up. And I promise you all, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not. But this is teachable. This woman is not the finest. Now, I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder and all of that, but I'm going somewhere with this, and y'all get the like stuff for me. All right. And let me know if, again, this is mean and I need to shut up. Let me know. But this is her at her best. And the reason why I brought up her look, and it's no shade, but some of y'all favorite femininity coaches would say the same thing. Y'all love going on Ashley's little thing on her channel and getting rated by her and her telling you, oh, you need to lose weight. Fix your hair like this. You know, do that in the third. So I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, you're being mean, because y'all's faves do it to y'all every damn day. But the reason why I brought up her looks is to illustrate the fact of the matter being that, ma'am, you are ever so lucky, once again, that a man is going above and beyond out of his way to, again, try to accommodate a woman at your level. I don't think a lot of y'all women really understand how much of a privilege it is for a man to take time out to try to deal with y'all. Do y'all know how many men are out here like, I'm happy by myself. I love being single. It's more peaceful being by yourself. Like, men are like that. So for a man to be making all of these adjustments, trying to meet her halfway, overcompensating, if you ask me, like, he's doing too damn much. The moment that she got back on that highway, I would have been like, oh yeah, I dodged the bullet. She crazy. She tripping. She really didn't want to wait 30 minutes for a table to where we could have walked around the mall. I probably would even bought her something, but she's so impatient that she couldn't even do that. She's so selfish that she couldn't even see my effort. The time that I took out, there would have been no calling back. There would have been no text message. There would have been no voicemail. She would have been X'd out. So I bring up her look to illustrate the fact that these men are absolutely trying. These men are not being shallow. These men are not out here trying to be rude, be mean. Like, they're being extremely reasonable to make this amount of effort for average at best chicks. And the average at best chicks feeling like, oh no, I'm the prize. I don't settle for this. I don't wait around for that. I'm too good for this. That's crazy, nasty work. And this is why men are done with y'all. Like, seriously, when will y'all wake up and finally realize that it is a privilege for a man to even be talking to you, let alone trying to spend money on you and take you out, get to know you, settle down with you? Like, girl, she had to be dealing with a good man. because the amount of disrespect that she showed that man is nasty. And then considering that she's not the baddest of the baddest, and he's still going above and beyond out of his way to assist her, to make things easier and better for her. Yeah. And like I said, y'all, these men are clearly showcasing to you all that they are not being shallow. They are not being unreasonable. They are genuinely trying to establish a connection with y'all and get to know y'all. And y'all are the ones who are just looking for a free meal. Like, seriously, she would have to be somebody that's just looking for a free meal if she didn't even want to take 30 minutes out of her damn night to talk to this man. And like I said, she could use a few steps. Okay, ma'am, I'm pretty sure you did not hit your 10,000 steps today. You could have walked around that mall and it would have did you some good. Let's continue.
And yeah, I was just like, are you being for real right now? If you made a reservation, we wouldn't have had to wait. If we had a reservation, that is the whole point of the reservation. And I was like, you're not being accountable. And now I'm actually getting mad. You know, like I'm actually getting angry because like, instead of just saying, hey, we crossed wires. I didn't think there was a reservation needed. Let's try to figure something out. Like, instead of just leaving it at that, now you're trying to act like I'm wrong for being upset. And like, it's not that big of a fucking deal. I really was going to accept his alternative, right? And cause I'm really, really trying to like be a better human and a better girly, but I consider myself a reasonable person for the most part, but I just could not fucking believe you're sitting here trying to act like, well, what's the big deal? We would have had to wait anyway.
You probably would have. Like you said, it's a popular restaurant. It's a Friday night. Like, things can happen. And you didn't even want to take 30 minutes. 30 minutes? It's not like they say, oh, it's a 2-hour wait. It's an hour wait. 30 minutes, 35 minutes, ma'am. Like, women keep on exposing themselves left and right for just being users. And these men are still giving y'all the benefit of the doubt. He still could not see that, yeah, she just wanted something to eat. She was hangry. You were very unreasonable. As soon as he told you, yeah, it's a 30-minute wait, you were on the highway to go back home. How was that you being understanding? How was that you being patient? How is that you showcasing good faith and saying, you know what, we're just going to use this time to talk? You clearly just want this man to take you out, probably so you can post something on Instagram, get a free meal, because you look like you like to eat, and probably discard this man the very next day. A lot of you chicks do that. And then for you to behave like this and conduct yourself like this, yeah, he was well within his right to be upset. Like, damn, is it really that deep? Was it really that deep for you to drive 40 minutes out here and then get right back on the highway all because I said we can walk around the mall for 30 minutes while they get a table for us ready? Yeah, you were tripping. And I think you realize that now, which is why now that you're telling the story in hindsight, you're trying to justify like, yeah, you know, I try to be an understanding, patient girly. And yeah, y'all are going to hate me for this. But yeah, you were wrong. And a lot of you chicks out there just like her, y'all end up realizing y'all's faults and y'all's flaws later. And you're able to see, damn, that really was a good dude, though, because he at least offered this. He at least tried to do that. And when you see that same man doing all of the great things with somebody else, you're going to be in your feelings. Especially when there's no other man coming up behind him to date you.
No, we wouldn't. That's not the point of the reservation. And so now I'm just like, listen, sir, I'm not trying to get into it with you about this. We could just plan something for another day at this point. Because again, I'm not going to be a good date to you tonight. I'm really getting upset now. And so like, he starts like laughing, like, well, what? I just don't get it. Like, and I said, so now it's funny to you. I went off the deep end. I'm like, so now it's funny to you. Now it's funny to you that I'm upset about this.
He probably had to laugh it off to keep from cursing you out. He was being a gentleman, because anybody else would have been like, B word, you tripping. Yeah, take your goofy ass home.
So I was just like, you know what? You ain't got to worry about me, because now you just not being accountable at this point, and now I'm really pissed off. Before, we could have just called it up as a miscommunication, crossed wires, whatever. But now I'm pissed off because now you're like damn near making fun of the situation, or like acting like I have no reason to be mad. Well, we would have had to wait anyway. Like, no, take your L and just. I just got interrupted because he just called again. I'm not answering. But then like after that, when
this man still trying, and y'all say these men are out here not trying with y'all, not giving y'all a chance. Y'all swear up and down, and when they do, they're even giving average at best Alicia a chance, blowing them up like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh no, I'm too good for this. Girl, unbelievable. Put a 4 in the chat if you feel like this guy was being reasonable with her and understanding with her and patient with her. Put a 5 in the chat if you feel like the guy that she was dating on this night was just being an a-hole. He should be understanding of her feelings. You know, he messed up. I'm trying to see something. Let's continue.
I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm actually good on this whole situation, because I don't appreciate the fact that you're like not even taking accountability at this point, and you're like making it seem like it's a problem that I'm upset in the first place. So I'm just like, I'm good on this, you know, enjoy your night. So he ends up texting me, and I'm gonna put the text on here, but he ends up texting me basically like,
okay, it says, you're right to get angry, but I think you took it too far. See, we didn't have to wait that long. The table is ready. So again, you're being unreasonable, you're being impatient, and had you just parked your car and cooled off, y'all could have had a great evening. You probably would have even had your husband. Because ain't no man who does not see real value in you going to be going out of his way to try to accommodate you, assist you, and make up for the inconvenience. Girl, you blew it. You messed up. This why men done with y'all. This why a lot of y'all will be single, unmarried, by your damn self, struggling, because y'all don't know how to treat good quality men.
Like, well, you actually have a right to be angry, but I think you took it too far. And then he sends me a screenshot. I was like, see, the reservation is ready now. Like, see what I mean? Like, see, you're making it a big deal. And then he says again, well, if there was a reservation and they were busy, we still would have had to wait. No, we wouldn't. Do not fucking gaslight me. Just say, take the L. Just take the L. Like, I really was going to give him a chance, but it is what it is at this point. I look cute. I am just going to grab something that's already ready-made at the grocery store. It is what it is. Like, maybe I'll record some content for y'all, but I'm about to take my ass back in the house. I'm already back on my side of town. He did just call me again. I don't want to talk. And at this point, it's really nothing to say, because it's the lack of accountability for me at this point. So this would have been my first date of 2025. I have been dating a lot this year, but they have not been first dates. But this would have been my first date of 2025, and it was a bust. So yeah, I guess we'll just try again next week.
Good luck, ma'am. Because with that attitude, that is probably going to be your first and last date ever. Now, there was some people in the comment section that responded to her, and they made very valid points. Okay, this woman says, please work on your patience so you won't miss out on a good man. And that right there, big bars, big facts. A lot of y'all women out there, you already met your husband, but you were too impatient. You were too entitled, too selfish, too greedy to see it. Now you ain't blown it, and now you by yourself, still in search for that husband of yours that is now married to somebody else. Another person says, did you want to get to know someone or just eat a meal? And that is what she was giving to me. You know, to me, she was giving, I really didn't come here to walk around with you and get to know you. I came to eat. She even said it, you know, maybe I was just hangry. But I just didn't have no time for that. I just got on the highway and went back home and couldn't wait to stop at some damn restaurant to eat. Yeah, I'm just going to pick up something. Girl, and again, this is why men do not even take the time out to do anything with women, because y'all seemingly are just being users. Another person says, I'm a total girl's girl, and even I'm surprised that you turned around over a 35-minute wait. Waiting on a table is a great way to get to know someone, and that is exactly my point. This is why somebody could reach the conclusion of she never really wanted to get to know anybody, and men can see right through it. And my heart breaks for the genuine women out there who are looking for something of substance, who are trying to find their special someone. But it's women like this woman here who gives every woman a bad name. By her exposing herself to this degree, she saved that man a lot of hassle and a lot of headache, because can you imagine being in a relationship with a chick like this to where she's acting like this on a first date? If she's acting this entitled, this impatient on the first date, you can only imagine what kind of headache and heartache that she would put a man through if that was actually her man. And now she really feels entitled. Please. Somebody else says, we as humans don't let other people be humans. This is why folks can't do relationships. This is also big bars and facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, things happen. He already had a busy day. Maybe he forgot to make a reservation. And like I keep saying, even reservations can have a little bit of a wait to them. And 35 minutes is not that long. Please. Somebody else says, I don't think he was the problem. And you know what? He's not. And unfortunately, it's not a lot of the men that are. Okay? Now, do you have some guys out here who are just trying to use women and take advantage and discard of them? Yes, you do have that. But look at what we are seeing, you all. We are seeing that the men who are actually out here trying to put forth some kind of effort, they are getting treated the worst. And this is why so many men are done. Ladies, y'all have got to clean this up, because if you do not, it's going to get even worse for you. Not only will there not be any more dates, but ma'am, you won't even get a call back. You won't even get approached. We're in that time. And for so many of you all to be taking advantage of this and taking for granted good men who are pursuing you, nasty work. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts, opinions, and feedback about this in the comment section. Let me know, do you feel like that man was wrong? Do you feel like that woman was wrong? Do you feel like they're both at fault? We're always open to different perspectives. All that I ask is that you all be respectful of each other's opinions and perspectives about our topics. But I'm going to see y'all in the next dope discussion. Y'all like the video for me, share the video, and subscribe. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one, okay? Much love and peace to my crown heads. And remember, ladies, that first date may be your last. You better act right.